A lot of stories been coming out of the news lately. This is another story that I hate to have to report. A biological father has done something or been involved in something that got his son killed. So here's the story. Milwaukee police say that a 5-year-old boy that you see on my screen right there, who has the biggest smile that you ever want to see. Awesome little smile right there. That 5-year-old boy was fatally shot at the Mayfair Apartments homes near Lovers Lane Road and Silver Spring Drive early Saturday morning, February the 8th. So that was just a few days ago. 2 people were taken into custody. I want you to take a pen, bookmark that part of the story. We'll come back to it. But 2 people were taken into custody. It happened at around 1:15 a.m. Police officers said they found the little boy, identified by the family as Jamal Anderson Jr., the kid you see on my screen. He was only 5 years old. They found him suffering from a gunshot wound. Dispatch audio revealed that the wound was to his stomach. Life-saving measures were unsuccessful, and that little boy that you see on my screen right there died at the scene. Now, the boy's biological mother, let me get her on the screen because she did put up some information, so I don't mind letting you guys know who she is. That's the biological mother. Her name is Jaquita Harbor. Jaquita Harbor, Harbor. And she shared this message on a GoFundMe.com page. Let's rewind. Let's say that again. She shared a message on a GoFundMe page set up to raise money for funeral expenses. A family member provided the photos of the child on that page. Now, why do I talk so bad about GoFundMe pages? Because I hope the family doesn't get mad. I hope the family doesn't get mad. But it is the nigga supplement for having life insurance, is it not? Because it seems that we're going to continue to produce kids knowing that life is finite. Finite. Y'all know what I'm saying. Life will start and life will end for everybody at some point. That means that you have to have life insurance because you don't want to be an irresponsible human being by not covering for your expenses that we know that you will have to incur at some point, right? Let me thank real quick Self-Savior for joining the AFC channel memberships. Thank you so much for that, brother. He always donates. He donated tonight very, very nicely. And also joined the AFC. So from my heart to yours, brother, thank you so much. Donna Aguayo sent in a $10 super chat. She always showing love. Donna, thank you very much. From my heart to yours, I appreciate you guys showing support. But that's my rant about the GoFundMes. We know that we should have life insurance. It's very cheap to do, okay? Let's move on. Enough is enough, said Rodney Campbell, who is a pastor. It's time now we all come together, break the division, break the spirit of separation, and come together in unity and save our children. It is our hope today that we spark a flame in each other, that we say, enough is enough, and it's time to get out here and make a difference, make a change in our community so that we can save our young people. Sounds like an awesome message, does it not? Sounds good, but let's talk more about this story. Now, here's the update, because this came in a matter of hours ago, earlier today. A Milwaukee father is now facing charges after the shooting death of his 5-year-old son. Jamal, let me get his picture up on the screen so you can know who the biological father is. Give me a second, because I want to make sure that we put his face on the screen. Boom. Mr. Tattoos on the neck right here. You know, Mr. Bad Boy. Mr. The women love a thug. What do we say? Hood hoes love hood dick? Yes, that dude. Let's go back. Let's take a look at this. This guy that you see on my screen is charged with neglecting a child, possession with intent to deliver THC or marijuana, and possession with intent to deliver heroin. Heroin. Did y'all hear me? If convicted, Jamal Anderson, who is 27 years old, faces up to 33 years behind bars. Anderson is currently being held in the Milwaukee County Jail. Jail records show Anderson being held on a $200,000 bail as of Tuesday afternoon. Now, why does he get a bail? Hell if I know. It's the way that the system works. Now, a criminal complaint. Officers responded to a home near Lover's Lane and found the 5-year-old boy that you see smiling in the back seat. He seemed to be a real happy kid. Jamal Anderson with a gunshot wound to the stomach. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Police say that Anderson, the biological father, let's go back. This guy that you see on my screen right here, or did see on my screen. Let me see if I can get back to that photo. If not, I'll just let him roll. Right there. He gave different stories about what happened before the shooting early Sunday morning. Initially, Anderson told investigators that he was the victim of a home invasion and said that the gun involved did not belong to him. He later told police that 2 women and a drug dealer were at his home at the time of the shooting. And he claimed that he was taking garbage outside when he heard the gunshot. Now, for people who are familiar with my channel and things that we've talked about on my channel, how familiar is that to us? We know we've heard this type of story plenty of times, and they get involved in these situations, and the first thing that they do is they think to lie, to save themselves. They don't think to save their children, nor do they think to save their children from potential danger before we even get to this point. Everybody understand? Now, that's what he told him at first. Authorities found a text message from Anderson's roommate warning him to keep the 5-year-old out of the areas of the apartment where guns were located. Police also located a backpack outside of the apartment with a firearm and weed. Had marijuana inside with a gun. Now, this part of the story is going to be a little long, so you guys kick back, get you something to drink, because I want you guys to listen to this story. Click that thumbs up when you come in. It'll share the stream and let everybody know that we're live. This part of the story is going to be very detailed. Here we go. During a 911 call, the biological father, Anderson, could be heard saying, "Somebody just tried to rob me, and they pushed in my house, and they shot, and they shot, and they shot me. They shot." According to the criminal complaint, the dispatcher repeatedly asked Anderson what happened. After 2 minutes and 34 seconds into the call, Anderson said for the first time, "My son, they shot my son," according to the criminal complaint. Anderson later admitted that the gun was his and that he had bought it 5 to 6 months ago. He maintained that a drug dealer had been handling his gun before Anderson took out the garbage. I think the only garbage that was being handled was that man. He's the only garbage that I know about in this story, okay? Now, when questioned, Anderson said he could not provide any information to the authorities to verify that the people in his story actually exist. Big red flag. A woman was also arrested at the scene. Her name has not been released. It's not clear if she will face charges. Bookmark that. We'll come back to it. According to the criminal complaint, detectives found a backpack outside that was partially buried in the snow. When police looked inside, they found a .40 caliber Glock handgun with an extendo clip, an extended magazine, or what they call stendos, dick sticks, right? That's what they call it in the hood, because niggas is just that stupid, right? They found a .40 Glock handgun with an extended magazine and one spent casing still inside the chamber. They also found nearly $4,000 in cash. $4,000 in cash, along with the gun and ID and debit cards belonging to the biological father, this jackass liar right here. and substances that later turned out to be heroin, marijuana, and fentanyl. Heroin, marijuana, and fentanyl. For the people that have watched my channel before, how dangerous is fentanyl? Just the dust on the tip of your finger is enough to kill a human. Just the dust on your finger could kill a human, could kill anybody. It's very, very dangerous, okay? Just thought I'd throw that out there. Here's his first story, so let's keep track. Story number 1. Milwaukee police questioned Anderson about the incident that night. During the interview, Anderson said he walked out into the hallway when 2 suspects confronted him. According to Anderson, they forced him back into the apartment. Once inside, they grabbed a laptop, credit cards, and fled the apartment. Anderson said his son had been shot during the home invasion, though he denied having a gun, investigators said. Story number 1. Here's story number 2. According to the criminal complaint, police confronted Anderson about the backpack they found outside. Anderson claimed that he had people over, but that his gun was on top of the refrigerator. He told police he was taking out the garbage when he heard a gunshot from inside the apartment building, followed by his guests running out the apartment building. Anderson told police he went inside his apartment and discovered his son was shot in the abdomen and lying on the floor. He denied the gun involved in the shooting belonged to him. According to police, investigators pleaded with Anderson to tell the truth. Story number 3. Hashtag where was the mom in this situation? Great question. Mic check, mic check. Said turn up your volume. Is my volume not loud enough? Let me see. Investigators pleaded with Anderson to tell the truth. Sir, the volume. That's about as loud as I'm gonna make that. So I think the volume is fine. It could be a troll. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. Nonetheless, we're gonna let it ride, okay? And I did hear the donation come in. Thank you to everybody that's donating. I'm gonna read that here in just a second, okay? So thank you to everybody that, yes, a lot of people utilizing it. I see it. I see you, Peach Cutie Pie, Self Savior, Stram, Jimmy D, Mom's Fur Babies, and Tasha Nicole. Got you. Thank you so much. Story number 3. According to the criminal complaint, Anderson told a third version of events. This time, Anderson said that a woman named Tracy, bookmark that part, a woman named Tracy, a drug dealer named Damo, D-M-O, D-O-M-O, which is normally for Dominique, Damo, and a third person came into his apartment that night to smoke weed or marijuana. Anderson continued saying Tracy, Damo, and the third person were all smoking weed when his son came into the living room. Damo was attempting to sell Anderson a gun with an extended magazine. Anderson told police he examined the gun but thought that the price was too steep. He told Damo to put the gun up on the shelf. He then took out the garbage. Anderson said that he was in the hallway of the apartment building when he heard a single gunshot. He went back into the apartment and found his son been shot, the criminal complaint stated. Anderson told police that Tracy and the third person gathered the gun and drugs into a backpack. Anderson said he took the backpack away from them and 3 guests ran from the apartment. According to Anderson, he took the backpack outside and put the backpack in a snowbank as he did not want to look like his son was in a drug house. Yes. According to the criminal complaint, when asked, the father, Anderson, could not explain to police how his debit card, his ID card, ended up in the backpack. Oh, Lord, bless a fool. Bless a fool. Now, there is a fourth part of the story. Are you guys ready for the fourth part of the story? Yes, this is kind of long, and I apologize. Do me a favor and click that thumbs up. It'll help share the stream and let everybody know that we're live. And matter of fact, if the volume is kind of low, if you click the thumbs up, it'll actually raise the volume. You'll be able to hear the stream better if you click the thumbs up. Okay? Here's the fourth part of the story. According to the criminal complaint, investigators questioned the biological father, Anderson, a second time during the night of the shooting. This time, Anderson told police that Tracy and Damo were over at his apartment and that he wanted to buy 7 zips of marijuana from Damo, who was armed with a 40 Glock with an extended magazine. In Anderson's latest story, he claimed to police that Damo wanted to sell the gun to him. He admitted to handling the gun and inspecting it, but ultimately telling Damo to put the gun on the shelf, which he did. Anderson said he went to take out the garbage. Between 5 to 8 seconds later, Anderson told police he heard a gunshot. He went back into the apartment and saw that the gun was on the shelf, was now over on the apartment floor. Anderson claimed Tracy and Damo left the apartment so quickly that they left their drugs behind in the criminal complaint. Do y'all think it ends right there? How many people think that that's the end of the story and we're going to go ahead and show the news videos? How many people think that? I'll wait for you guys to vote. I know y'all about 30 seconds behind me. For the people that know that there's more to this story, yes, there is a fifth part of the story. Now, let me ask you guys a question for those of you who are familiar with gang members, criminals, thugs, and niggas that ain't shit. What is it that most people know? If you are in the drug life, gang life, hood life, or anything like that, at least wait until you get a lawyer before you start talking. I'm not trying to give criminals no leg up or nothing like that. I love stupid niggas, believe me. I love it when they record their own crimes. I love it when niggas give statements to the police without representation. I love it when niggas just ignore their Miranda rights. And so do the police. And so do the investigators, right? Sweet D just donated $5. Sweet D, it's my first time seeing you in the chat. Let me give you a very, very big, my heart to yours. Thank you so much for that. Really appreciate you showing support for the AFC, where we advocate for children. Thank you for that. There is a fifth part of the story. Would you guys like to hear it? Like to hear it? Here it go. According to the criminal complaint, police detectives confronted the biological father, Anderson, about numerous inconsistencies in his story. This time, Anderson admitted that the gun was his, but that he bought it from Damo 6 months ago. He claimed Damo was handling his gun and had it in his lap just before he took out the garbage. The fifth part of the story, the fifth part of the story, part 2. So this is part 2. As police questioned Anderson further, he claimed that he put Tracy and Damo's drugs and his own debit and ID cards in his own backpack before burying it outside in the snow, the criminal complaint stated. When police questioned Anderson about Tracy and Damo, officers could determine that there was a possibility that neither person existed. Fingerprint evidence tied back to the backpack. Investigators said that they were able to collect 11 fingerprints from the 2 different vacuum bags that were originally located outside Anderson's backpack. Of the 11 latent fingerprints recovered, 9 were sustainable for comparison. of the 9 suitable for comparison, sustainable suitable, of 9 suitable comparison, authorities learned that all of them belonged to Anderson. How about that? 9 fingerprints out of 11 were his. What do y'all want to bet that the other 2 fingerprints were still his? I would like to think that they are. Now, on February the 10th, which was just yesterday, Milwaukee police detectives examined the photos that were obtained from Anderson's Facebook account, according to the criminal complaint. Those photos showed Anderson holding a large stack of money, probably that $4,000, standing and making obscene gestures with the suspected firearm involved in his son's shooting death tucked in his waistband. Wow. Video evidence. That nigga, excuse me, not the baby. That nigga is that dumb. All this flossing and all. Man, I'm going to tell you something. If not for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and going live, the police would know a whole lot about any of these incidents. And we put it out for ourselves to get caught up in all kind of bullshit. But nonetheless, I'm glad that they do. I'm glad that criminals get off the street. I'm going to be honest with you. On Facebook, it showed him with a large stack of money. He was standing there making obscene gestures with the suspected firearm involved in his own son's death tucked in his waistband, and the suspected firearm on his bed within the apartment, and the suspected firearm along with the drugs and on the kitchen table inside the apartment. That is a mouthful. Let's go ahead and show you guys the couple of news videos, and then I'll tell you a little bit more. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. All right, guys, here we go. Let me give a shout out real quick. I see we have a celebrity in the building, and y'all know it's rare for celebrities to come over here, but we have Liam Nelson in the building. Let me give a shout out to Liam Nelson, who is very famous. He's been in a lot of movies. I want to give him a shout out.
Charged a Milwaukee father in the shooting death of his 5-year-old son. Now, those charges came down within just the last hour.
Jamal Anderson is charged with neglecting a child causing death. According to the criminal complaint, Anderson told investigators several different stories about how his son, Jamal Anderson Jr, died. The 5-year-old died early Saturday morning inside an apartment at Lovers Lane Road and Silver Spring Drive. The criminal complaint reveals the boy suffered a single gunshot to the stomach. Prosecutors also charged Anderson with 2 counts of drug possession with intent to deliver after they say investigators discovered marijuana and heroin in the apartment.
The sign outside Milwaukee's German immersion school reads, "Jamal, you and your family are in our thoughts and hearts." It's a tribute to 5-year-old Jamal Anderson Jr., a kindergartner who was shot and killed early Saturday morning inside the Mayfair Apartments on Lovers Lane in Milwaukee.
It's a terribly tragic story, and when we get news of it, we think first and foremost about the student and the family.
Manager of Psychology Services with Milwaukee Public Schools, Travis Pinter, says a crisis response team at the school is now offering help for grieving students.
When we get news of the incident, a principal will usually reach out to our centralized team, and then we will organize the team and have a planned response at the school, and so people are there prior to student and staff arrival.
Junior's mom was at the school Tuesday. She didn't want to go on camera, but says she's heartbroken. She'll never see her baby again.
How do you explain to a group of kindergartners why their classmate won't be coming back to class?
Yeah, that's a tough question to answer. We don't explain why so much as we share the facts in as basic language as we can, and we do that regardless of age, because we feel everybody should know what has happened on a basic level.
Parents at the school say it's devastating, but are thankful for school counselors.
Kids in this school probably don't know a lot about shootings or death or things like that. So I really appreciate the fact that they're taking the initiative and going ahead and bringing in people to talk with the kids, professionals to talk to the kids.
Sarah joining us live now. Now, we do know the school is planning to honor Junior on Thursday.
That's right, Toya. School staff here tell me that all of the students here will be wearing yellow on Thursday, as it was Junior's favorite color.
Here's the next video.
Charged a Milwaukee father in the shooting death of his 5-year-old son. Now, those charges came down within just the last hour.
Jamal Anderson is charged with neglecting a child causing death. According to the criminal complaint, Anderson told investigators several different stories about how his son, Jamal Anderson Jr, died. The 5-year-old died early Saturday morning inside an apartment at Lovers Lane Road and Silver Spring Drive. The criminal complaint reveals the boy suffered a single gunshot to the stomach. Prosecutors also charged Anderson with 2 counts of drug possession with intent to deliver after they say investigators discovered marijuana and heroin in the apartment.
All right, that is the end of the news videos, and we had about 350 people here. Do me a favor and click that thumbs up. I want to talk a little bit more about this story, okay? Because there's a little bit more in here that that the news didn't tell you about, okay? One of those things being is the biological mom. Let me see if I can get her face on the screen so you guys can partially see her right here. Not really important to put a bunch of pictures of her because I'm not implicating her in any of this, okay? But let me say this. She is in a relationship with a man currently by the name of Giovanni. And you guys can find that information if you just look it up in the news. But her boyfriend, not her husband, her boyfriend wrote a statement about this little boy. I can respect this to a certain extent, okay? But her boyfriend wrote, Lord, Lord, Lord Jesus, my heart is so heavy, my mind is not clear. Please, Heavenly Father, tell me, where do I go from here? The tears is still flowing, even though he meant the tears are still flowing, nonetheless. I'm trying to stay strong, but losing a child, please tell me, how do you continue to go on? His smile brought life. His presence was like a bright light, and now this same child is with you flying high. My woman, he's talking about her, which is Marquita, or what is it? What is her name? Let me get her name up here again. The biological mom is, come on. Give me a second. Jaquita Harbor. Okay, not Marquita. Whatever. Quita something. Now, he said that my woman is so lost, heartbroken, and confused. Her oldest boy was a Rolly. I don't know what that means. Was her Rolly, her road dog, her Rolly. And now that wheel was sent to you. Lord, help her pain, show her the way. We don't understand why he was took in this kind of way. This is written terribly. I'm sorry, bro, but this is written terribly. Why he was took. My mom taught me to speak very well when I was growing up, so a lot of this broken English really bothers me. I see you, Mahogany. Thank you so much for joining. I'm going to go ahead and moderate you real quick. Give me a second. Boom, there you go. Type something else and you should see that your name is lit up now. But thank you, Mahogany, for showing up. I pray for her healing, my whole family too, because losing Jamal to careless gun violence was the wrongful and hardest thing to ever do. This is written terribly. As a parent, you have to protect your kids every moment they're in, and he wrote there, T-H-E-I-R, but I know what he meant. Every moment they're in, they are, which should have been spelled T-H-E-Y''R-E. They are there. Every moment they're in your presence, because one look away can determine the rest of the journey. I love you, Bay, Quita Harbor. I'm here every step of the way, and I'm here till stay. To stay is what he meant. Jesus Christ. This dude sound like he didn't graduate 5th grade. I'm sorry, bro. But seriously, spell check on Facebook would have told you how to correct the majority of that shit. I'm sorry. But it bothers me when we use programs that show... You could have spoken to Google. Google would have written it properly for you. Good Lord. That bothers me, man, because we got so much smart technology and we're just like, screw the technology, okay? Anyway, first and foremost, this mom procreated with a thug. Why do I say that? Because there's no way that she did not know that this dude was a drug dealer when she met him. He didn't just wake up one day and just decided to start selling drugs. It was who he was. He looks like a thug. He dressed like a thug. He talked like a thug. Guess what? Hashtag you date thugs, you date death. What does that mean? What it means is that it's a very dangerous thing for you to deal with people like this, let alone you. Maybe Quita Harbor could have dealt with a thug. But what is her 5-year-old son supposed to do? Any kids that she have by this dude, what are they supposed to do? How are they supposed to fend for themselves when mom probably can't fend this grown man off? The kids can't speak for themselves, nor can they defend themselves against the tyranny of a thug. Okay? She knew she was a thug when she met him. And if she loves her son so much, which I believe that she does, but if she loves him so much, why would she let this criminal keep her kid? You know he dealing drugs, he dealing weight, he advertising on Facebook. Everybody knew about it. He was advertising himself as the quintessential thug nigga. And you continue to give him access to your special needs son. I don't know if you can call Down syndrome special needs, but I'm going to just say it for the sake of, because I don't know any different. I could be 100% wrong. Somebody will correct me on that. We'll move past that for now. Here's my second point. Why would the father put his son in this situation? If he gave a shit even a little bit about his son, if you know that you're doing these type of dangerous things, why would you put your son in this situation? There's a couple things that stuck out to me about this story that I thought about. One, he might have did this on purpose. Yes, I said it. He might have done this on purpose. What are some reasons that men might look to kill their children? Right? One of those reasons? Child support. Child support. Y'all say it is special needs? Okay, thank you very much. Okay, because I didn't want to be disrespectful by any means to that poor soul right there on my screen. Down syndrome is special needs, just different degrees of disability. Thank you, Peach Cutie Pie, and the rest of you guys. Tasha, all of y'all. Thank you for that. Because I really, truly did not know the difference, okay? So, I say child support because in his situation, for moms that usually have these type of kids, they're usually going to try to get some type of benefits, whether it be some type of food stamps, whether it be some type of housing, or if the man does have some type of terrestrial job, then they're going to take it out of his check if he ever gets a job. Point number 3, child support. And in order for that mother to take advantage of the program, Title 4-D, the welfare program, which also has all of those things included underneath that umbrella, then they have to put somebody on child support for it. That means that could have been a reason for that. Because if that man don't pay the child support, guess where his ass is going? To jail. If you set this up to look like an accident, then you eliminate your problem. I hate to say this part. This could be another reason. Another reason why he might have set his son up for death. Because maybe he was embarrassed of his special needs Down syndrome son. Yes, I said it. I think he might have been so embarrassed of his son that he might have set him up to be killed, and maybe it didn't have shit to do with money at all. How about that? The mom seemed to love him very much. The boyfriend seemed to like the boy very much. But dad, that might have hurt dad's pride because he didn't have the quintessential son. The legacy that he wanted to pass on, he wants it to be represented in a certain way. Is it possible that he might have did it for such a meager reason? Yes, very possible. You know why I say it's possible? You damn sure can't believe what he tells you, because this nigga gave 5.5 different versions of what the fuck happened to his son. So you damn sure can't believe what he said. So you know what we're going to call it? The hypoculture. What is the hypoculture? Like the no snitch culture. Since you're not going to tell us what the truth is, we're going to have to hypothesize what we believe to be the truth based on what we know. And what we do know is that he's a fucking thug. He ain't shit. He didn't deserve to be a father. And his son had special needs. It is possible that he might have tried to eradicate him for that. 2 more points. The mom put up a GoFundMe. The GoFundMe is in the mom's name. Let me pull that up so you guys can see it. See what they were asking for and see what they have raised so far. Here's the GoFundMe. So you guys can see it on my screen. The biological mother, as you can see, is Jaquita Harbour. That's how I found her name, from the GoFundMe. So she put this information out herself. She's the organizer to this fundraiser. She asked for $10,000 to bury her son. $10,000. As of, when did she put this up? 3 days ago. Within 3 days, these benevolent white people raised her $10,770. Why do I say benevolent white people? Because you know it ain't niggas donating to GoFundMes on this level. It's just not. Otherwise, we wouldn't be going to the white man's platform and asking them for their money while we're being irresponsible. It is irresponsible, and y'all can tell me if I'm wrong. Maybe I'm reading this wrong. But in my opinion, in my humble opinion, I think it is highly irresponsible for you to have a special needs son. It's special needs. That means he's going to need things that are special, meaning things that are outside the normal, meaning it is going to cost you and your biological father money that you should have if you're going to have kids. But knowing that most of our people don't have any type of plan to take care of our children through good, bad, through all of the things that they're going to go through in life, we're not prepared for any of it. And we just expect that the world is going to come behind and feel sorry and put up a goddamn GoFundMe and play on the heartstrings of those benevolent white people. And the reason I call them benevolent white people, some of y'all know why I call them that. The reason why I call them benevolent white people is because we keep talking about white supremacy. We keep talking about the president is bad and horrible and he's racist. We say that white people are racist. We say the police is racist. But these same people that we continue to call all of these bad things, we keep talking about their moms and dads and their ancestors had us in slavery and blah, blah, blah. And the majority of white people owned slaves and they're descendants of them. And we say all of this crazy shit, talking mad shit all day and all night about those people until some shit hits the fan and then we got our hands out. Please, before you get mad and before you post a comment and get up in your feels, before you get totally in your feels, just tell me what I said that was factually inaccurate. Just tell me one thing that I said that was factually inaccurate that you can prove. $10,000 in 3 days for a special needs son that you should have had special financing for Anyway, lastly, just so y'all know, the mom right there, Miss Harbour, just had a baby. She just had a fresh baby. So that means that 5-year-old boy that you see on the screen had a little brother. I took his pictures off the screen, as many as I could, because I didn't want to show that little boy's pictures because he's innocent, completely innocent in this case. My question to the mom, because you're going to have to think about this. Now that these benevolent white people have taken care of this boy's final expenses, are you as a mother going to be responsible like all the rest of the Americans are and get life insurance on your new baby, knowing that when you live in the hood and you live in the ghetto, that there is and when you deal with thugs, you deal with death, there is a high chance that your kids, especially your boys, mainly your boys, the girls ain't really got a lot to worry about because they're killing themselves. The boys are at a high risk for death before they turn 18 years old in any shape, form, or fashion. If you are a black boy, you stand a chance of dying very, very quickly. Is she going to get life insurance knowing that the statistics say that her son, the rate of him making it to 18 is very low? That's just a fact. Take the $10,000 and bury your son, but they gave you an extra $770. If they don't give you a dime else, the least you could do is invest that $770 and get a life insurance plan. Am I just talking shit right now, or am I making sense to somebody? I'm speaking from my heart right now. Because guess what? That little boy, his name was Jamal Anderson Jr. He was loved at his school. His classmates loved him. He has a very bright smile. He cannot speak for himself, nor could he defend himself against the tyranny of his own father and under the circumstances that he was brought into, that he had no control over, right? It's a very sad situation. It's good that the boyfriend said all of those nice things, but you know, in my opinion, these mothers don't need more boyfriends. They need husbands, they need family, they need stability, they need a financial plan, and these kids need a chance at a solid future. And as the black community, as a representative, I'm telling you, we're not giving our kids that. We got to do better. I got to do better. I'm striving to do better. And guess what? We can all look at ourselves and say that we can do better. I want to lessen our stories. Each and every story should be a cautionary tale. There's something we could do better in our lives. Just make a change, make a difference in your community, educate somebody, talk to somebody, have these conversations. I can guarantee you guys, people are not having these conversations. You wonder what you can do to make a difference. You wonder how you can be a part of the AFC. You could be a part of the AFC just in spirit alone. Maybe some of you guys don't have it financially to support. Be the AFC right here in your heart. Be a good person. Do a good deed. Like Bolo says, do God's work. Black people love to be so spiritual, then do God's work. Be a godly person. Christian, little Christ, Christ-like. Do unto others as they would have them do unto you. You don't want somebody stealing from you, don't steal from others. You don't want somebody's bastard kids to come and shoot and rob and stab you, then don't produce them. Don't encourage that type of behavior. With these little kids walking around with these guns in their waist, or play guns, or acting hard, dressing with their pants sagging. Come on, man. As parents, we absolutely have to do better. I am absolutely tired of seeing those Facebook videos and all this other crazy stuff that we're doing to our kids. We got to do better. That's all I'm saying. My name is DJ Just JOK. You can Google search me. I am the AFC, where we advocate for children first. They are the AFC in the chat, where they advocate for children first. Our platform is the AFC, where we advocate for children first. From my heart to your heart. Thank you for listening to this stream. To that little prince right there, R.I.P. young man. Jamal Anderson Jr. was only 5 years old. What a great smile. And he could have been an absolutely amazing adult. And I wish he would have got an opportunity to be that. That's the end of our stream. Thank you guys for listening to this story. We'll see you guys on the next stream, okay?